Are you thinking about remodeling your house? Maybe updating your kitchen that's from the 1930s, or your bathroom that's from the 1970s? Or maybe you want to add an accessory dwelling unit to stash your in-laws in there when they come visit. Whatever it is that you want to do, you want to hire the right contractor for the job. You want to hire somebody who will do the job right, come in on time, and come in on budget. And most of all, you don't want a contractor who will leave with your money and leave you with half-finished work. As a former property manager, I used to hire lots of contractors and tradespeople for various improvement projects and repair jobs around the properties that I managed. I'm going to share with you how you can find the right contractor for your remodeling job. Maybe you've heard some of these nightmare stories where a contractor was hired and they were paid all this money up front and then they're gone, the money too. Or maybe you heard a contractor story where the contractor was hired, did the job, everything was finished and paid off, but the work is like terrible. Like nothing works, things are falling apart, it's just shoddy workmanship. Turns out the contractor wasn't licensed. Or maybe you heard a story where the contractor was hired, started the work, things were going along, seems like things were going great, and suddenly they're gone after they get paid all this money. And the work is half finished. The homeowner has to hire somebody new to continue with the work. So there are a few things you gotta do before you hire a contractor to make sure they're legit and that they're gonna be doing the work as promised and correctly. The first is you want to make sure that they're licensed. You can do that by going to the California Contractor State License Board website, and you can look them up and see what their license number is and the status of their license. And you can also see what type of license they have. You want to make sure they have the right kind of license for the job you want to do. If you're simply changing a toilet or adding some kind of fixture to the bathroom, you want to make sure they have a plumber's license. You don't want someone with an electrical license coming in and installing your toilet, right? And vice versa, you don't want a plumber installing a new electrical panel for your addition. You want to make sure that the contractor has the right type of license for the job you want them to do. On that website as well, you can see how much of a bond they have. And that bond is there for your peace of mind. So in case the contractor doesn't finish the job or something goes awry and you need to be paid for the damage the contractor caused, that bond is there for you. You also want to make sure your contractor has liability insurance of at least $1 million coverage. If the contractor has employees under them, you want to make sure they have workers' compensation insurance too. If you hire a contractor that doesn't have any insurance, and if something goes wrong while they're working on your property and someone gets hurt, that person could turn around and sue you for all the damages they suffered. You don't want to be in that position. Make sure you hire a contractor who has liability and workers' comp insurance if they have employees under them. Next, we're going to talk about payment. So here in the state of California, by law, the maximum you could pay a contractor to get started for the initial deposit is the lesser of $1,000 or 10% of the total project price. If a contractor is asking you to pay more than that, that should be a red flag to you. Any reputable contractor should be able to start a job with just that minimum payment. If they're asking for more, I would watch out, because that's where a lot of these nightmare stories happen. A contractor says, oh, I need all this extra money up front to pay for materials or pay my guys or whatever. You pay that money, suddenly the contractor's gone. Now, depending on how big of a project you have, you may have progress payments. So if it's like a room addition that you're doing, you might have a progress payment after each major phase of that addition is completed. For instance, there will be rough framing, the framing to add the actual space to the house, and then you'll have rough plumbing for the fixtures like the toilet or the sink, the vanity, the tub, shower, what have you. And then you're going to have the rough electrical for the light switches and whatever else electrical thing you might have in there. You're going to have these tradespeople come in and rough them in. Now, the progress payments should be scheduled so that they are made after each part is successfully completed. And what does that mean to be successfully completed? it means that it was inspected by the city and approved and signed off by the inspector on the inspection card. After that, you can rest assured that it was done properly and you can issue a progress payment. It goes without saying, any improvement project you should have permitted by the city. Permitting will make sure that the contractor will do the job right, and you'll end up with a project that was done correctly and approved by the city. Not only that, it'll help with your resale value, because then you could proudly tell buyers that it was done with permits. When you're making progress payments, you want to make sure that you pay by check, not cash. The reason why you want to pay by check is so you can trace each payment and verify that it was cashed by the contractor. If you pay cash, there's no way to verify it, unless the contractor issues you a receipt. But paying by check is better. When the job is done, and before you make that final payment, make sure the contractor gives you a lien release or waiver. And what this is basically a statement from the contractor saying that they've been paid in full and they're releasing any claim for payment and any claim of a lien on the property. What the contractor could do if they don't get paid is file a mechanic's lien on your property. And this is basically a lien that will stay attached to your property until it's sold. And so when it is sold, the title company will see that this lien is on the property and issue a payment to that contractor for the amount of the lien. Those are kind of the administrative things on vetting a contractor. But to find out if the contractor knows what they're doing and is going to do a good job on your property, how do you check that? By checking their references. Ask a contractor for a list of references and call them up. Call like the oldest one, someone in the middle, and someone very recent. You want to talk to these people and find out what their experience was like working with this contractor. Like, did the contractor do a good job? Did they do things as they promised they would? Did they finish the project on time and on budget? Would you work with this contractor again? And if possible, go to see the actual work the contractor did. Either way, you want to talk to past customers of this contractor to get a feel of the quality of work this contractor does. There's nothing like first-person reviews or testimonials to really give you a picture of what this contractor is like. So talk to as many as you can, but at least 3. So those are just some basic tips to help you find the right contractor for your remodeling job. Check the description below for a link to my blog post on the same topic, but in much greater detail. I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, click like and share with a friend you know might be doing a remodeling project of their own. This is Dale Shin, LA area realtor at Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage on the Sunset Strip. I'll see you on the next one.